Back at it again in Grand Cross Age of Titans, today's sponsor, with the final episode of this starter tips and tricks series. We've come a long way. I'm currently at castle level 13, making my way through the chapters. Very close to getting my first Titan, very excited about that. If you want to check out the game and follow along with me today, links will be down below. The game has officially launched worldwide on all platforms. Yes, the time has finally come. But of course, for those who didn't watch my other two episodes, I wanted to briefly go over what Grand Cross Age of Titans is all about. We went over this in the first and second part of the series, but as a refresher, it is a MMORTS in a 2D anime style with an amazing story. But of course, it is strategy oriented, so if you enjoy strategy games, you'll easily follow along with this game. It's set in the fictional world of Skyna, where two main characters are summoned to help aid this kingdom that is on the verge of extinction, and your goal is to rebuild your kingdom and regain lost territory. You do so by taking on seized territories with armies of troops, heroes, titans, all while progressing through the amazing story. The game tutorial does a pretty good job at teaching you all the essentials, but my goal is to give you some tips and tricks to help you get started on the right foot and kind of like avoid some of those starter and basic mistakes. The first tip today is wait for assistance before doing speed-ups. As obvious as that sounds, a lot of the time we want to rush through a upgrade or training and don't give our alliance enough time to actually help. You should already know how much of a tremendous help they can be, and it's definitely worth waiting just a little bit so that you can get that extra help. Speaking of help from your alliance, make sure to stay on top of your embassy upgrade, because that will allow you to get even more help, which in turn speeds up your progress. The good thing though is that you should already be upgrading the embassy regardless, because it is a prerequisite for each new castle level. But I wanted to bring it up anyways because for me, it's one of the first things I recommend to upgrade as soon as you get to that new castle level. It'll help you in your journey through that castle level, which can be quite a while. Definitely not something you want to leave for last. Speaking of buildings you should be upgrading, the next tip is another building that you should be focusing on: hospitals. They are a great building to gain fast combat power, which you always need. Not only that, but it will increase their capacity. You don't want your capacity to be lower than your total forces, which you can check out in this little area right here. Your hospital could in fact overflow and not be as effective, and if that happens, your soldiers can actually die, like permanently vanish. You can drop your combat power by not having enough capacity to heal all your soldiers if you needed to, which is no bueno. We know this because if you go to the hospital and click on the info tab, at the very bottom in point number 6 and 7, it reads, hospitals have a limit to how many wounded soldiers they can accommodate. Heavily wounded soldiers will die immediately when the hospital is at max capacity. Heal the wounded before the hospital reaches max capacity to prevent soldiers from dying. So as you can see, it can happen. So hospitals are one of the best buildings to be upgrading. There's never a bad time to focus on them, unless of course you have bigger problems. Moving on, always upgrade technology that discounts buildings or research time. Look at this compile research here. If you're skipping that for another research, maybe rethink it. By doing this first, you can research everything else faster. It's like you're wasting time by not doing it first. Of course, there are more obvious ones like food and wood production, but this compile research is what had me intrigued the most. Pretty small tip, but super useful. Try and max that out as soon as you can. XP. If you're not a big fan of going out hunting and attacking monsters, now is the time to start, because that will give you a chance to earn a lot of XP. And why do you need it? Well, upgrading your heroes. If you've been playing for a while, you may have noticed that there's other ways to upgrade your heroes, and XP is one of them. And the best part is that you can obtain it for completely free. The only thing you need to be looking at is your stamina, which fortunately is abundant as far as I've seen, but just in case you do need more stamina to go out and attack some more, you can find it at just about any place that gives you rewards. In fact, as we speak, there's even an event that gives me free stamina. As we mentioned before, checking the events tab is highly recommended. Like, this is a perfect example. Next up, complete the daily missions, the second best place in my opinion to get incredibly good rewards. And the best part is that all of the missions here are incredibly easy. It's like baby steps. It's super simple stuff like gathering resources, training troops, stuff you already do anyways. It's legit a no-brainer, and if you're not striving to complete the daily missions, you're doing it wrong. You gain chests from doing these missions, and at the very end is a beefy final chest. Look at these rewards, it's no joke. Now, if you're in an alliance, you should be familiar with the demon extermination, but even more the shop there. And if you don't, I'm here to tell you about it. It's as simple as grinding the waves and earning rewards, specifically the demon seals. If you didn't know, these are the main currency for the demon extermination shop. Here you could actually find some pretty decent rewards, but the main reason I wanted to bring it up is because you can get karma mana stones for a massive discount and unlock her pretty quick. If you're unaware, gathering 10 mana stones for a hero you don't have will unlock it for free. And Karma is a legendary hero. There's literally a free legendary hero sitting in the demon extermination shop. And if you already have Karma, you can use those mana stones to increase her skill level, as mentioned in a previous episode. So it's a win-win. Now, another small tip is to make sure you always have the most effective heroes for your castle wall. You want this to be as effective as possible. I'm not a pro, so I can't give you pro advice, but one easy way to look at is for a hero that is good at station. I only have one, which is Destiny. Here you can see that she is a pretty good hero for defending objects. It's this little icon that looks like a fort wall here. Now, if you're not looking for discounts in the trading port shop, you gotta hop on that right away. I forget what castle the trading port is unlocked. I want to say somewhere around 6 or 7, but I could be way off. But the important thing is that you go check it out once you unlock it. There are some pretty sweet discounts in there for resources, speed ups, buffs, everything. It's like the VIP shop as we discussed before. My favorite thing to buy here is probably gonna have to be the XP, easy way to level up my low level heroes when I need to, and you can always refresh the shop as well. The next tip will probably save you a lot of time if you're lost in the game and need some guidance, but don't have the time or don't want to be on YouTube. If you click on your profile here and go to the settings, you'll notice there's a game guide here. Now, I'm not sure if this has always been here or if it's a recent addition, but that is basically the Grand Cross Age of Titans Bible. Everything you need to know is there. Pretty much most of what I've talked about in this series has to be in this guide in one form or another. If you want to learn more about the game, this is certainly a good resource. Okay, and the last tip that I intentionally left for last is your first purchase. I know a lot of players want to stay free to play. In fact, I myself am free to play. So that means I actually get a chance to show you something special, a bonus reward that will only come around once here, and it's the purchase bonus, which includes a free legendary hero, Sekhmet, along with tons of other items. Now, the only reason I mention it is because I think it's a heck of a deal, and I'm not sure how long it will be around. There's no timer, it could very well be exclusive to the game's launch. I'm not sure, but while it's here, I think it's the perfect time to pick that bonus up. Whether you spend $1 or buy the pass, yeah. So guys, those are my tips for Grand Cross Age of Titans. All 3 parts makes 30 tips and tricks. I really hope I was able to help at least one person along the way. You don't really have to follow along with anything I say, but my goal is to help you get started on the right foot and avoid some of those early game mistakes, as I said. And I hope I did exactly that. Like I said, the game is now available worldwide. Links will be down below. Highly recommend you to check it out and give it a shot. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. HaVoC Gaming out. Peace!